Guys, it's HYDE, and in today's video, I'm going to be making a pre-workout tier list, so let's get right into it. Now, this tier list was pretty much just designed for me. There's a lot of major brands out there that aren't on here, but I only wanted to rank pre-workouts I've tried, so this is just all the pre-workouts I have personally tried, and I will be ranking them based on what I've tried. We got 5 tiers. We got S tier, which stands for straight up bananas. We got A tier, B tier, C tier, and then we got D dog shit tier, which you'll see what that one's for. First up, we got Gorilla Mode. I remember getting my first bottle of Gorilla Mode. For the price and the size, the container has 40 servings, so you get quite a bit of pre-workout for the price of the pre-workout. The flavor was black cherry. I remember the black cherry being really good for flavor-wise. But being the brand that is connected to Derek from More Plates, More Dates, I was expecting some next level pre-workout where I would take a sip and I would go, whoa, I gotta go hit a deadlift PR, and then I'm gonna be able to do 100 reps of pull-ups. Like, I was expecting some over-the-top pre-workout. My expectations were very high. And in the end, it felt more like I just took C4. It felt more like I just drank an 8.4 ounce Red Bull. It was not anything crazy, nothing to be calling home about. The flavor was really good. It wasn't like, wow, this is good, but it was really good. Overall, I feel very neutral about this, so I'll be putting it in B tier. Next up, we got Woke AF's Mother Bucker. The hype around my gym about Mother Bucker was crazy. We have a lot of people that love Bucked Up products, and they're like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever had. This is so crazy. My eyes are bleeding from taking this. The stims are so crazy. And then now you need to be 18 to buy pre-workout at GNC. At the time, you didn't need to be. You could buy pre-workout at any age. And I went in there and bought it, and they're like, hey man, I'm not sure you want to do this. Like, this stuff is crazy. You're gonna, like, do half a scoop. Don't start with a full scoop. Like, it's crazy. I was already pretty desensitized to caffeine at the time, so I started with a full scoop. The itch was crazy. Like, I don't know, I haven't looked at the ingredients list, but I feel like the beta-alanine in it must have been crazy, because it was like, I wanted to tear my skin off. But overall, stimulant-wise, like, I wasn't bouncing off the walls. It felt comparable to every other pre-workout. The stims felt very similar to, like, a Bucked Up. Like, Woke AF, you know, anything in that family of products, stims felt very similar. Just, it made me want to tear my skin off. I wish I could tell you what the flavor Miami tastes like. It tastes very good, but it's interesting. I remember the first time I tried the Miami flavor, I'm like, oh, wow, that's really good. And the second time, I'm like, oh, that's really good. And the third time, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's good. And the fourth time, it's like, okay, I kind of want to pour this out. Overall, Mother Bucker is not a good beginner pre-workout. I would suggest starting with, like, a Rise or a Bum or a C4 or a Gorilla Mind, because it is pretty crazy in the stim category. And the flavor's pretty good. Overall, if you want to start with a half scoop, I suggest this is a pretty good pre-workout. I'm going to put it in A tier. Next up, we have ProSup's HYDE Nightmare. Now, I have tried all the HYDE products. I am a representative and a ProSup's athlete, which means I've tried all these products for free. I've tried Nightmare, HYDE OG, HYDE Signature, Dr. Jekyll. I've tried HYDE Max Pump. Any pre-workout they have, I've tried. I've tried HYDE Extreme. For the fact I tried so many, I decided only to put 3 on this tier list. I put HYDE OG, HYDE Signature, and HYDE Nightmare. Mostly because HYDE Nightmare and HYDE Signature you can get at Walmart, and they're more publicly known. If you like these pre-workouts though, or you're curious in trying other ones, code OT10 at checkout will get you 10% off your order. It is the second best way to support the channel, other than just subscribing, following me on Instagram, and keeping up with posts. Now, I first started working with ProSups because I loved HYDE Nightmare so much before I had any connection to the company. I was promoting this pre-workout. I was going on my Instagram and I'm saying, guys, this pre-workout's great. This pre-workout's great. You gotta try this. You gotta try this. I was giving my friends scoops at the gym. Everyone around here was raving about Woke AF and Bucked Up, and I'm like, no, it's HYDE. HYDE's the best pre-workout. Now you'll see, as I've said, I'm a representative, so I could be biased, but I'm gonna give my completely honest review on the HYDE products. I do believe the best pre-workout HYDE has is HYDE Nightmare. I do think that is the best pre-workout they've ever made. The feeling of the energy, it seems to have I feel like the sustained energy is very good. While I've been cutting for my first bodybuilding show, I feel energized through the workout, through my ab training, through my post-workout cardio. I stay energized the whole time. It has a nice itch where I do get itchy, but it's not like Mother Bucker where I want to tear my skin off. Specifically, the Jawbreaker flavor is so good, bro. I don't know how anyone could not like that flavor. That flavor is so fantastic. And for that reason, I'm giving HYDE Nightmare straight up bananas tier, S tier. Did you see it coming from the tank top? Code 10, baby. You can get it for 10% off. Next up, we got Rise Bazooka Bubble Gum. It was alright. You know, I did like it. The flavor was interesting. I feel very similarly about Rise as I do to some of these really popular brands where it's like, I like Noel Diesel, I like Alex Eubank, you know, I like the guys that they work with and the people that are part of the company. So in return, I like their roster of athletes, but the pre-workout was nothing I was calling home about. I just thought it was pretty good. You know, tried it once, it kind of sat on the shelf. Rise, I'm gonna have to put in the same boat as Gorilla Mode. I feel very similarly about it, but I don't think it's a bad pre-workout. I think it's good. If you want to try it, I'd suggest giving it a try. Rise is B tier. I'll tell you, this is a weird one. I really struggle to rank this one amongst the other pre-workouts. Obviously, I love Chris Bumstead. I mean, soon to be 6-time classic physique Mr. Olympian. The sour watermelon flavor, as like a little sample, is really good, but even just having like a 12 ounces of water with it, by the end of the first time you try it, you're already sick of it. You're like, ugh. I don't think the flavor's bad. I think it is insanely strong, where you're almost like, you know, tone it down, make it less strong. I remember taking it, and I always get an excitement when I take a new pre-workout. You take the scoop, and I'm waiting to feel something, because all of them hit a little different, and you never know how this one's going to hit. And I remember feeling nothing at all, not a single thing. Until, I think I was doing back the first time, and I was doing barbell rows, and I realized, wow, after like set 2, this is the best pump I've ever had. I just vaguely remember the pump being the craziest pump I've ever had in my 2 years of lifting, and not feeling anything from the pre-workout at all and getting sick of the flavor really fast. There was some pre-workouts like the Gorilla Mode and the Rise that I tried once and then really only ended up using like the one time, and they just kind of sat on the shelf. As for the Bum pre-workout, it was something that maybe once a month I'm like, oh, I want a crazy pump, I'll try this again. But overall, not super fond of the flavor, not super fond of the stim. It was just kind of more of a pump product, so Bum gets C tier. Next up, we got Rich Piana's 5% Nutrition 5150. This is a fan favorite for me. This was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I cannot rave enough about this product. I mean, this product is crazy. Now, to my understanding, every different type of caffeine has a similar effect. None of them are like crazy different effects than the others. Rich Piana's 5150 has 7 different types of caffeine in it. And it comes out to a total of 1 scoop is like 420 milligrams of caffeine. And mind you, there's other stims in this pre-workout. This isn't the only stim in the pre-workout. It's 420 of just caffeine in 1 scoop. I mean, 2 scoops of this pre-workout could kill a sub 200 pound lifter. Victim weight. And you know, Like I said just on the last product, all pre-workouts, they're very similar, but they all hit a little different. And this one was like a completely different experience to any other pre-workout I've ever tried. Because I didn't get itchy and I didn't get jittery, which is two things with pre-workout is you always get, oh, you're jittery, or oh, and you get itchy. I never got itchy, I never got jittery, and I'm like, wow, this pre-workout was pretty expensive for nothing to happen. And when I started lifting, I cannot describe to you how strong I felt. I mean, this pre-workout, the first time I took it and the months after I continued taking it, I felt superhuman. Like, my strength was so crazy. I would take it and I wouldn't get all that hyped, but it was like if I was deadlifting, I was breaking PR after PR for the most reason being in this pre-workout. I don't know what is in this pre-workout to make it feel this way where, you don't get jittery, you don't get itchy, but also you can't sleep that night because it's so strong. It is so bizarre. But you're probably thinking, what's the flavor like? I bought one bottle, it was the blue ice flavor. And after I bought it, the same day, after the first time I tried it, bought 4 more bottles. I mean, I wanted to have a supply of this pre-workout for years. It's that good. The flavor I got was blue ice, and every flavor I got was also blue ice. Blue ice is a great flavor. It's really hard to describe because blue ice is a very good name for it. You can compare it to blue raspberry, but it does taste a little different. But if you like blue raspberry, you'll like this flavor. If you don't like blue raspberry, you probably won't like this flavor. 5150 by 5%. Straight up bananas. I love this pre-workout. Next up, we got Redcon Total War Tiger's Blood. If you thought I sounded passionate about HYDE Nightmare or Rich Piana's 5150, I am so much more passionate about this pre-workout. I mean, just thinking about this pre-workout, my blood, my veins start to pop. I can assure you with my whole heart, I'll put everything I own on this. This is not just the worst pre-workout I've ever had, but the worst thing I have ever had, period. If I was a gymnast and I was told I have to bend over and suck my own ass before I have to eat this pre-workout, I would suck my own ass. This pre-workout is dog shit. The flavor? Tiger's Blood, which I think is supposed to be coconut cherry. It hurts to drink. I mean, it is painful to drink. When you take that first sip, your mouth will start to burn, and you will feel it burn all the way down your throat, and it will sit in your stomach like a rock. I have done the 1 chip challenge. I have done the little nitro challenge. And I can tell you, nothing burned my mouth, my throat, and my stomach worse than this pre-workout. Back in the day, me and my buddies would mess around. We ate 20 jalapenos. I would do that 100 times before I would drink this pre-workout again. Same thing. I've done smelling salts. I have Ward Total Insanity smelling salts and Eddie Hall's Beast World's Strongest smelling salts. And the impact when the smelling salts hit your nostril and your brain gets on fire, it is about 1/4. This is about like 4 times the pain of smelling salts just by drinking it. It's that bad. And I know one of you douches is out there watching this thinking, oh, well, no pain, no gain, brother. How'd the pre-workout make you feel at least? Like, I did not have an itch. I did not have a pump. I did not have any jitters. I had no energy. And anything, I felt weaker than I did before I took the pre-workout because I was so nauseous. There are nights I sit up and think about suing Redcon1 for emotional damages just because of how bad this pre-workout is. What I am stating is fact. This is horrible. This is something that is the spawn of Satan and nothing only. This is disgusting. Fun fact for you, when I made this tier list, I made the D dog shit tier list specifically for this one pre-workout. Redcon Total War, Dog shit. Next up, we got C4 Super Sport. C4 Super Sport, you drink it, the flavor, it's blue raz. It tastes good. It's got a scary color. Like, you put it in water, you stir it up, and it's like atomically blue. It looks like a chug jug. It's good. Truthfully, I would compare C4 Super Sport to how I feel about Rise or Gorilla Mode. But the difference is, C4 Super Sport is like half the price of Rise or Gorilla Mode. So, quality to price is phenomenal. I would like to put C4 Super Sport in the A tier because I do feel it's the same as Rise and Gorilla Mode, but it's cheaper, so it's worth more. But we're going to kind of set price aside on these things, and I'll put C4 Super Sport in the B tier. Next up, we got G Fuel. I got 2 tubs of G Fuel. I have PewDiePie's Lingonberry, and I have Moist Critical's Peach something. Heavenly Peach, something like that. Divine Peach, that's what it is. Both of them are really good. They taste really good, but the thing is about this, I always see people talking about G Fuel in the same terms as pre-workout, and G Fuel's not pre-workout. The G stands for gamer. It's gamer fuel. Like, it's not pre-workout. If you're a gamer and you're looking for like a focus-based energy drink, I would say, yeah, take G Fuel. Yeah, that's great. But it's not pre-workout. I mean, as a drink, I love G Fuel. I think it's great. If I was like gonna go take a math test, I would probably take G Fuel because it seems to help me focus a lot. But it's not pre-workout. It can't be compared to pre-workouts. It's still better than Redcon Total War, so I'll give G Fuel a C tier. You like cranberries? I really love cranberries. The lingonberry flavor is very good, though. I would suggest you try it. Next up, we got Woke AF. The flavor of Woke AF I've tried is the same as I tried of Mother Bucker. It's the Miami flavor. I won't discuss the flavor because you heard my opinions on the Miami flavor earlier. Overall, it's a pretty solid pre-workout. I feel like there's this baseline tier of pre-workouts. You have to have an average to have things be better than the average and below the average. And I feel like Woke AF is kind of the standard. Here is your baseline pre-workout. You're gonna get this. It's relatively cheap. It's really good, but it's nothing crazy. If you're watching this video because you wanted to buy your first pre-workout, hey, I would consider the HYDE Nightmare, or I would consider Woke AF. Woke AF is a very good product. I love my stimulants. I would rather take Mother Bucker, so for that, I'm going to put Woke AF in the B tier. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I would still probably take Woke AF over Rise or Gorilla Mode or C4. It's a very good pre-workout, but I think it falls into that category of this is the norm. Last but not least, we have 2 HYDE products. We have HYDE OG first. HYDE has this flavor that I specifically really don't like, and it's renamed in a couple different pre-workouts. In HYDE Signature, it is called Lollipop Punch, and in HYDE OG, it's called Solar Punch. I'm far from a fan of this pre-workout. This was actually the first pre-workout I ever got, and I dry scooped it every day, and I think I got so sick of the flavor that now I just hate it. Personally, I wouldn't suggest the HYDE Lollipop Punch flavor, but HYDE OG comes in Pixie Stick flavor. And very similar to how I feel about HYDE Jawbreaker, who it's yummy, it tastes like candy, I feel about HYDE OG's Pixie Stick flavor. It tastes just like a Pixie Stick. It's honestly crazy. I do love it. There's a blue something flavor of HYDE OG too. That's really good. I don't know if it's Blue Raz or what it's actually called, but HYDE OG is a very good mix. I will put HYDE OG in A tier. Here's a little thing for you. If you really do love ProSup's products, you can go into your Walmarts or Costco's and find HYDE Nightmare and find HYDE Signature. And once in a great while, if you're lucky and you're in a GNC and you're looking for it, you can find a bottle of HYDE Max Pump. You will never go in a store and find a bottle of HYDE OG. They're not sold in stores. If that's a pre-workout that interests you, if you really love HYDE Nightmare or you love HYDE Signature and you want to get a bottle of HYDE OG, it's totally worth going online and getting a bottle. It is truly a very good pre-workout, and it's got really cool packaging too. I love the bottle. If you are scouring online with shipping and tax, sometimes you can find products like HYDE Nightmare or HYDE Signature cheaper than getting it online. The fact that you can only get HYDE OG online, the cheapest you can buy this pre-workout is with my code OT10. That is the cheapest you can get it. So if you are interested, definitely go check it out. As for HYDE Signature, I have a nostalgia factor to HYDE Signature because it was the first pre-workout I ever took, and I took it for months, where I do really have an emotional connection to this pre-workout. Truthfully, I don't think it's very good, but it's one of the cheapest pre-workouts on the market. If you look at what I have in B tier, I have Woke AF, Rise, Gorilla Mode. All those things are more expensive than HYDE Signature. HYDE Signature is more comparable to, and in price as C4. Like I said about Woke AF, I feel there has to be a standard, and I think HYDE Signature may be one of those standard products. I'll put HYDE Signature in B tier, but I would take probably the Woke AF or the Gorilla Mode or the C4 over HYDE Signature. Here is the final results to the pre-workout tier list. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. If you found me on YouTube, hey, what's up? It's great to know you. If you came from my Instagram, thank you for the support over there. I've been doing Instagram for about a year longer than I've been doing YouTube. So if you're over here, hey, what are you doing? Go subscribe, go follow me on Instagram. That's my main platform. That's where you get daily OtterBoxer content. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my rankings? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. I love to see your guys' opinions. I'll respond to every single comment. Unless it's mean, then I'll hide. Get it? Hide. I'll hide. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Riley Ott, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.